Hi everyone, this is Chris from Chris Watches Pretty Little Liars. And I think I may have said this before. I was going to post this on the PLL subreddit, but I've always been kind of paranoid to go there and, get spoilers or something because, I went on there just the other day and I don't think I saw anything that was too spoilery, but it's a minefield. But what surprised me is there's still a lot of people out there who are first-time watchers. So if you are a first-time watcher, just like myself, welcome. Enjoy the back catalog. You don't have to wait for new episodes because I'm back in it, baby. And I'm excited for those of you who are here. I'm recording this in 2024 in August. That's a little hint as to when I record these. I'm curious as to those who are experiencing this in the modern day, what it's like. So if you have thoughts, there's that little comment thing on the episode. You can hit me up on socials. Magoogs and Instagram. I think I have a Threads too, something. Anyway, I'm just very curious, and I have to find my email. I have an email address. I haven't checked in a long time. I will look that up for next time. But I'm very curious at those who are experiencing it the first time, if you follow along with me, any other shows you've liked, because I'm back in it, and I'm enjoying it again. Anyway, we have to talk about what happened this week. A lot happened, and I have a huge prediction at the end, but let's get to that music. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars. Chris watches Pretty Little Liars, so he can help you figure out who's A. Here we are, Season 3, Episode 18, Dead to Me. Dead to Me, a very good HBO show. Am I misremembering the name of that? Dead to Me? It had a movie or a show and a movie, right? Anyway. Very interesting title, of course. Previously on, we have Wes is back. Well, he's in the previously on. They're going to be in the show, right? So we see a little bit of Wes slapping evil Toby, all those books and cards that showed up in the mail from the guy that tried to kill Emily. Still very strange. But we're trying to find out who the beach hottie is. Which, quick prediction, it's not going to be a creepy detective, right? It's too obvious. That's classic show stuff. We have a Mona Spencer moment. When Mona's in Toby's place, we know Spencer. There's gonna be a situation here. Allison may or may not have been pregnant at the time of her quote killing. Ezra's gonna meet his son through Maggie being the mother, and then the PI is gonna follow evil Toby. And they gave the books. Emily gave all the books. Creepy Detective has all the notebooks. Okay, we start off at the brew with the liars. Ezra has not called yet Arya, that she's kind of concerned or curious, like, what's going on? What's it like meeting your son? Spencer's looking odd, of course, looking very guilty. Very unlike her, looking very, very guilty. So they theorize Creepy Detective has read the notebook. Of course, they all assume he is Beach Hottie, the Cape May situation. Cape May, keep that in mind, Cape May. It's going to come up quite a bit, I guess, next few episodes. But it's too easy, right? If he's the one they all think, that's the one who we think, it can't be him. But they're worried that he's going to, throw them away or do whatever with them, etc., etc. Spencer goes, I've had it. Spencer has another one of her, like, we're all terrible. She gets up, and at the counter, she has a text from Miles Corwin. He is the private detective. Pause here for a theme song.
Miles Corwin, private eye. Discreet. Damn good at my job. No case too small or too big. Located in Rosewood, maybe Ravenswood too when they launch that spin-off. Unlisted, but find me in your nearest alley or diner. Cash for actual answers. Miles Corwin.
Your text has info, can we meet? Now, what I thought was interesting, and I'll tell you what I thought at the time, that she did not have his name in her phone when she texted him the first time. So I was like, was this an A trick? I thought that was interesting. Anyway, Miles Corwin. I wrote, is this an A setup? Turns out no. I'm too many steps ahead. I almost pulled out my microphone there. Jason returns. I gotta admit, I know I've been away for a bit, but it's good to see Jason again. He, weird to say, he has a calming presence. I don't know why I say that, but he does. Anyway, he walks into the brew. He finds them there. He says, by the way, hey, Allie's remains have been returned to the family. They're going to do some sort of service at the mausoleum. The liars will have time after the parents leave. Now, I had thought at the time, we're going to see De Laurentiis action. Well, not quite. Jason reminds them that the things they put in the casket are still missing, and the grave robber has them, and for some reason, I don't know why. The police are involved, by the way. For some reason, he thinks that whoever they find who has the stuff is the killer or something. I don't know. It's a bigger deal than I don't know. For some reason, they're equating whoever has these things was the one that went into the casket, and they're in big trouble. Spencer says, no, yeah, I'm not going to the thing, and who cares, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so she, I think someone even says to her to dial it back. She blows up, she storms off, and the other three says, we'll be there. And Jason's like, what's going on? Hannah and Arya have the items. Hannah has a Ouija board that she put in there, and Arya has those earrings. Hannah wants to just ditch them. She thinks we just throw them in the garbage. And Arya's like, I'm just going to go to Ezra's apartment. So she runs away. We have little Mona Spencer scene. I don't know why Mona's still doing this. She's not doing... she's doing the show for us. I don't know. But she's like all chipper. There's some sort of decathlon. And what's so funny is, she says a few times, are you off your A game? Spencer could not care less. So I don't know what Mona thought this was going to be, but Spencer's like, to hell with you. I'm going through a phase. You have your stupid decathlon. Again, very unlike Spencer. And Mona says something like, Toby cheer for me instead of you? What? Mona's a few episodes off. Like, Spencer doesn't give a shit about any of this. Anyway, Hannah and Caleb are in an empty classroom, which seems to happen a lot on the show. There's some sort of aunt that moved to Australia, and they're going to tear down the house he was raised in. It's kind of confused exactly where it was, but there's like his stuff is there when he was a kid, and he has to clear it out. I was very confused about who's related to who and all this. Boil it down, Caleb's got some stuff to pick up. Cut to Arya in Ezra's empty apartment. She's just lying in the bed. Okay. And Wes knocks on the door. Yep, he walks in, he says, yeah, Ezra said I can stay here for a bit. He's going to stay for a few nights. And then he sees that Arya's really having a tough time, so he says, hey, you can come pop by here whenever you want, just hang out. Question for all of you. Is Wes more age-appropriate for her than Ezra? Because he's in college, right? I mean, it'd still be weird. It still would be weird, but I don't know. I sense a little, and we've had that before, right? Just a little bit of chemistry. A little bit. Spencer meets with the PI in the back alley. Really shady. This guy is not legit. He's like, I need more money to find out where the key leads. Like, he gives all this stuff. Oh, this whole weird hydrangea thing. He said he followed Toby, and he bought some hydrangeas. And he says, I follow a lot of criminals, and they never buy flowers, right? So that, I guess he's trying to imply that Toby's not a bad guy. Listen, Miles, you haven't been following the story so far. Yeah, you're wrong. Emily's at the police station. Mom feels, and I guess she's trying to find that photo. I figured that out later. And the photo's gone, of course. It was on the cork board. No idea why it's been there for who knows how long, but it was there hanging out. There's a whole bunch of postcards that's in the stuff. And then there's a postcard that Emily grabs. Has a lot of A's in it. On the back was French, and I translated it before. Spencer translates it later. The translation in French says, stop digging. The police already know that it is you who is capable of murder. That's what it says. And lots of L and A's and T's are underlined. Or capitalized, I should say. I don't know. Anyway. Emily and Spencer. Oh, yeah, Emily fills in Spencer. The photo's gone. And she's just trying to check in with Spencer, like, how you doing with the whole Toby thing. Apparently, there was 25 postcards in Allie's casket. This is one of the 25. So there's 24 more missing. They're out there in the world. Spencer does the French translation that I used Google to help me with. I don't know did I know this at the time? It's been a while. Remind my memory, but I think when they're in the lighthouse, we just get a wide shot. We don't see who or what exactly happens. But if it was unclear before, it's clear now. Apparently, Emily is saying she shot Nate. She shot him. Yeah. Finds Toby photo for garbage. I have no idea what that note means. Oh, yeah. Emily's like, I'm here for you, Spencer, blah, blah, blah. And then they bring up Paige. I think Emily's like, hey, you remember that whole thing with Paige is on a date? Well, this was some person who worked at a costume shop. They're trying to track down one of the costumes, the Queen of Hearts costume. So it was flirting, not threat. I thought that's what she said. Still not sure if that lets Paige off the hook, but Emily's like, hey, Paige wasn't a bad person. Maybe Toby's not a bad person. Spencer, again, not informing Emily that Toby's part of A. Arya and Hannah talking about Wes, and Hannah does say, is he cute? And she goes, yeah, kind of cute, yeah. Arya's going to keep those earrings, though, for whatever reason, that those are the ones that are going to incriminate her with this whole casket thing. And she's like, nope, I'm keeping these. They're not going anywhere. Hannah's just going to throw the Ouija board away, which I'm not a person that believes in these sort of things, so you're not supposed to just throw Ouija boards away. That's all I'm going to say. Emily's at Dr. Sullivan. Dr. Sullivan returns. Emily's there. It's a new office. You would think You would think Dr. Sullivan would be like, I gotta get out of this. I gotta get out of this town. I got harassed for doing some therapy last time, so she's got a new office. They're talking about Mona and talking about what happened with Nate. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, he's the guy who killed. So do we know for sure? Oh yes, we do know for sure. Well, again, with the show, the guy who allegedly killed Maya, who may or may not even really be dead. I don't know. Although I think the actress had moved on from the show. So she's like, how do you feel about that? And was like, people call me a hero. I killed someone. And then she says, hey, do you want to do hypnotherapy? And Emily says, no. And then she says, you know what? Let's do it. How soon do we start? Then we have a sad Spencer montage. She's really upset. And then she calls the PI and says, $500. He goes, $500 more cash. And I'll find out where that key leads. And she says, keep looking. So she's going to give him the money. Caleb's at the house with Hannah. This guy named Jamie, who's apparently his uncle, is there. They're cleaning out stuff. I didn't figure this out right away. And then the show got me again. I'll give him to that. But Jamie's like, hey, take a look at your stuff. And Hannah's like, oh, this is so cool. And Caleb's like, yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuffed toys. So he's just putting these toys in a bag. I don't know. I guess he's going to throw it away, but, I don't know why he doesn't just throw it away. So Spencer's getting cash for the shady PI. And Jason swoops in. And he's like, they're all coming tonight to the cemetery for the service. You should come. And finally goes, what is your problem? And then Spencer says, probably one of the most biting comebacks I've ever heard. She says, I don't want to fight you because I'm going to win. And then I'll feel bad about it. And then she runs away. Jason's like, what is going on? I just got back in town. So there's a whole bunch of books over at Caleb's. And it looks like they're going to probably maybe donate the books. I think Caleb just probably wanted to toss them. But he was like, we should donate these. And then Caleb, wanders off and is a little pouty. And then the uncle and Hannah talk about Caleb a little bit. And I think he says more than once, oh yeah, he says, he treating you right or something like that. And she's like, yeah. I mean, Caleb's good. And then she says to him, ever heard from his dad? And what did he say? Something along the lines of like, he's not someone who's reliable. Bit paraphrasing, of course, but like someone like, yeah, no one hears from him, basically. She asked about Caleb's mom and that she deserved better. And did they love each other? And I think he says like for a time they did, which is so funny when I'm now looking back when he says she deserved better from quote the uncle, right? Okay, Emily and Sullivan, they're doing the hypnotherapy. I don't know if this is the same night, but they're in the lighthouse. They're going to do the whole lighthouse thing. So hold thought there. Wes is at the typewriter, the infamous typewriter that Ezra uses. Arya walks in, the phone rings, and someone hangs up, and the show got me again this episode. I thought for sure this was A, because Wes gets all weird, and he says, let's go get food, let's get out of here. And he has this weird look on his face. So they leave Ezra's apartment, and then we shift to Emily's memory, which this whole sequence is all confusing, and I'll get to why it's confusing when we finish up here. So Emily's walking, there's sprinklers. It's very clear from the video footage that we are not at the lighthouse. This is somewhere else, right? Then we see Allie, and then she says, we shouldn't be here. And then someone hits, so Emily has a shovel suddenly. Then Emily hits Allie with the shovel, it looks like. She wakes up screaming, something like that. So they're wrapping up here at the uncle house, Jamie Doyle. Don't know why that name stuck out to me, but I wrote it down. And then he gives Hannah a photo of Caleb as a baby. And then he just says, make sure he says to Hannah, he doesn't want this right now, but maybe later on, give this to him, because on the back it says like Caleb, 6 months or whatever. And then he says, make sure he takes care of you. He says it multiple times, which again makes more sense in hindsight. Emily tries to call Hannah, but there's no answer. I don't know if she gets this now or later, but the postcard has like an Eiffel Tower in the front. We have a flashback. It's Allie and Emily. It looks like they're in some sort of classroom, maybe French class. And Allie says something like, you and me and sweet Pierre. So it's the same postcard or photo that the postcard is in now, which is why it has a lot of emotional significance for Emily. There was a moment between Emily and Allie where I think Emily felt like, yeah, Allie and I are going to be together forever kind of deal. Which, Mafields comes in and Emily's still really struggling. She still feels guilty, like someone died, so she feels a lot of guilt. Mafield says there's only good here, referring to Emily. There's only good here. Spencer and the PI, wherever they need to go is on Mayflower Hill. So he tells her exactly where to go. Mayflower Hill, something about flowers, or I don't know. I'm talking about flowers a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of poetic resonance, but it didn't really land for me. But yeah, sure. He says, time to let him go. So he's still thinking this is just an ex-boyfriend thing, which makes sense, right? Of course he would think that. But he's like, time to let him go, which is probably good advice for Spencer at this moment, which makes me think, I'm going to prediction now, quick prediction. Spencer's going to kick Mona's ass at that decathlon, purely out of anger and spite. Not because she wants to win, because she wants to get past all this. I think all the Toby stuff's not going to work on her. That's how I feel. Cut back to Wes and Arya. They're getting some food, and some guy yells Fitz, yelling about the board and the mom, and then he goes to hit him or something. This is like a man. This is like a grown adult man trying to hit Wes. He gets out of the way. He hits him back, and they run away. Arya's like, "Who the heck is that?" And Wes goes, "That's my physics teacher's husband." It runs in the family. Jesus Christ. Arya and Wes, they're like, what's up with the mom? So apparently mom, as we know, is very, very rich, and she always makes problems go away. So Wes has this weird destructive streak, toxic behavior. He's like, what's the worst thing I can do and see if mom can get me out of this? So apparently he uses the word hit on teacher. I don't think that man has a reaction if you, quote, hit on a teacher. I think they hooked up. So he got suspended. I don't know if she's in trouble too. So he's in hiding. That's why he's at Ezra's place. He's in hiding. So I had this thought. Is Ezra acting out too? Is this whole thing with Arya, right? Is this really the source of their relationship? I'm going to psychoanalyze Ezra and say yes. And if it wasn't clear already, mom does hate Arya, per Wes. Maybe it's because she's in high school. Call it a crazy theory. Hannah, Caleb at Hannah's house. She hands him the photo, and he takes it in his hand. And I was like, the show got me. Had all these creases in here. And she goes, the only reason why was because he had it in his wallet. Jamie was the dad. Son of a bitch. They got me. Cut back to Dr. Sullivan leaving for the day. Mona's outside. And I was so proud of this moment. The show often does this stuff where the people that we're rooting for do dumb things. It happens a lot. I was like, there's clearly a bug in this flower. And so Mona's like, you should put it in your windowsill. And Sullivan's like, nope, putting it far, far away in my home, not in my office, which I was so glad. I was like, God, really? Are we going to put a bugged flower in Sullivan's office? No. Thank God. Dr. Sullivan has a little bit of intelligence, and I was very pleased. Very pleased. I think Mona's going to take a couple L's before the season's over too, as I just said. Spencer is going to the apartment. Of course, she goes into the A apartment. It's completely cleared out, and she breaks down crying, which I don't know. I wasn't clear what she was hoping or expecting to see, but I was not surprised. As soon as he lost the key, they changed locations, right? So they've had days. They had days to do this. Cut to the cemetery. There's no Spencer. Jason's there. Apparently, the De Laurentises were there for minutes, and then they got the hell out of there. Arya has this great Emily Dickinson quote. Very funny moment. Spencer walks in, and much like last episode, she just goes, Allie was pregnant. It was probably Detective Wilden. Everyone's like, oh no. Jason leaves. He's going to get himself arrested. Everyone else gets the hell out of there. So it's Hannah, Arya, and Emily walking out, and they're like, Spencer is broken. And then I guess the sprinklers go off, and Emily has the correct memory hits her. She mixed up her nightmares, as she puts it. This is the cemetery. For some reason, she was there at the beginning of the season, right out of it. Hoodie Vigilante chokes her, and there's someone there in a red coat who we've seen so far this season at least once. And so they reach the conclusion, at least Emily does, that Allison was the one digging up her own grave. Red coat is the one in charge. I've been guessing kind of along the way a little bit here, but that all of this is Allison. Now, why? Good question. And then Spencer does a weird thing. I'm not quite sure I get the significance of this. Toby's mother, Marion Kavanaugh, I'm assuming that is. There's a place where her remains are. She scratches into a Toby above the last name there with her key, with the A key. That was actually kind of cool. But I'm not sure. I guess this is just standard vandalism. And then our post-credit scene. This one is not as weird as the other ones. It still doesn't really help me too much. Someone's at a wine shop. The guy working at the front, his name is Kyle. His name tag was very clear. Someone is buying whiskey. They take out an ID card, and you get like 2 letters. Not even that. Nothing. I have no idea what to do with that one. So what do we know? What do we know? So I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Episode 18. With what do we have? 4 more left after this. 19, 20. Yeah, 4 more left. So the whole plan that Toby says was too rushed is for Allison to come back to life. Now, she's not going to make it public, I would guess, but the liars are going to know for sure that she's alive. That's prediction number 1. That's going to be the season finale. Prediction number 2, Spencer is known for a while, and I don't know how long or how much she knows yet, but she's known more than she has told everyone else for a while, which I think will reframe her upsetness here with Toby's quote portrayal. Projection 3, Mona's going to take some big L's because I think she does have to kind of be pushed to the back a little if Allison does come back, right? 4, Beach Hottie, not creepy detective. Don't know who it is yet, but it's not him. And one more prediction. I think one person who we thought was dead is coming back. I'm going to say Ian because they keep hinting that they need to talk to Melissa. I think Melissa's the last memory we're going to get this season. I think Ian's going to be alive and well, and we're going to see him maybe as the post-credit for season finale. So those are my predictions. I think that's it for now, right? Is there anything else? Yeah, feel free to comment. Let me know what people like. If they throw us on a subreddit, not everyone's going to like this. I know that. But it'd be great to hear and know if people are enjoying this, if this is something they like. You can find me on Instagram, Emma Googs, TikTok, Mac to the Gal. Twitch is on hold for now. I have a Threads, forgot what it is. I'll have to get that email address next time. Pinecast has a little comment section, a way to leave comments. If you like it, let me know, and I'll keep doing it. I'll keep inspired. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this thing ends at the end of the season. I've been Chris, and I've said too much.